What's cracking, gamers? And wow, Mihoyo has actually just given up. I don't think they know what they're doing. This is the worst thing I have seen. And I've seen Kokomi. Like, oh man. Anyway, they just revealed their new character banners and also weapon banners. And you better sit your butt down because this is the hardest pass that you have ever seen. Bam, there we go. Childe's second rerun banner. And you may notice it looks familiar to something else. That's right, Ayaka. It's literally the same freaking character. It's literally the same. There's no difference. What? Anyway, obviously the star of this banner is Childe, or Tartaglia, as he likes to be called, I suppose, having two names. We can all be fancy here, Childe. He's a decent character to have, a good Hydro enabler, good Hydro DPS. He's really the only true Hydro DPS we have in the game. So, I mean, his use is very limited until we get another Hydro damage unit. And then he'll easily be replaced. But for some of you free-to-players out there and people that are interested in the 4 stars, I could go over the other characters here. Yanfei is a pretty easy DPS unit. She's very selfish. She offers 0 support capability. She's literally just Fire Ningguang, who also happens to be on this banner. And you would think that a Pyro character would work well with Childe here. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way too well. I mean, maybe with his, like, little signature marks that he puts on character, you can enable some vaporize, but it's going to be Childe that's going to be vaporizing those marks for very little damage. Very not good. And Ningguang is a good Geomami, don't get me wrong. She's a good character to have. The screen is fun. Her burst is kind of good, and especially C6 Ningguang could put out a crap ton of DPS. However, unfortunately, in the meta, it's got a lot of shields, and Geo is just trash at dealing with shields. Like, yeah, it'll work on any shield, but it just takes so long that it's just better to switch to the element that actually gets rid of it rather than trying to gradually chip away at it with Geo. So Ningguang, unfortunately, until they get rid of shields, or if things don't have a shield, Ningguang's use is going to be very limited. And Chongyun kind of works with our Snezhnayan boy over here. It doesn't override Childe's main DPS function. When he hits E, he infuses his weapon with Hydro, and it doesn't get overridden by Chongyun's E as well when he's inside of the field, which is nice, but it's still not the best because I would rather just use Kaya just to keep enemies permanently frozen, or just literally almost any other cryo unit. Even Diona would be much better, and Rosaria much better than Chongyun with Tartaglia. In fact, this entire banner doesn't really make sense to me because they don't really play nice with each other at all. It just feels like, here's a bunch of leftovers, have at it. Like, I was expecting Fischl to be on this banner because Fischl works fantastically with Childe. But I guess not. Maybe Fischl gonna be popping up on the next one. I will say, though, that Childe is going to be exceptionally good with a character that's going to be on the next banner, and that's going to be Thoma, because of the, well, shield element that he gives, and he's able to put it out every 1 second, so he's constantly going to be vaporizing with Childe, so it's going to be a lot of vaporization going on. So, you know, if you are interested in picking up Childe, he is going to be getting a little bit of a buff, thanks to Thoma being included inside of the game. It's also important to notice the 2 catalyst users in this banner, because next we're going to move on to the weapon banner, which is... And here we are, the weapon banner itself. And the polar star obviously is the star of the show. Haha, that was the star, you get it? Alright, anyway. But it's the star of this weapon banner. It's a very good bow. It's incredible. It comes with a lot of crit rate. Its passive provides a lot of extra bonus attack. It's overall an insanely good bow, especially on Childe. If you guys are curious about the Polar Star, here is its level 90 stats. 33.1 crit rate, very good. Base attack, 608. Again, a little bit low for the 5-star, but still exceptionally because it's a 5-star. The crit rate here is the easily the most alluring thing about this. You know, its elemental skill, again, kind of weird, increases burst by 12%, which is great, fantastic, the elemental skill and burst. Again, so you could pop it on like official, and it'll still be really good. And after a normal attack, charge attack, elemental skill, or normal burst hits an opponent, 1 stack of Ashen Nightstar will be gained for 12 seconds. When 4 stacks of Ashen Nightstar are present, attack is increased by 10, 20, 30, 40. And the stacks of Ashen Nightstar created by normal attack, charge attack, elemental skill, and burst will be counted independently of the others, so you can't just keep spamming like your elemental skill. So if it's like official, you can't get all the stacks. You have to use everything separately to get the 48% extra attack boost. So a lot of characters, it's going to be really awkward to try and do a charged attack on sometimes. Like a lot of archers, it takes forever to load it up. So it's gonna be really only the best in slot and completely usable on Childe. At least for now. And another new weapon is going to be the Claymore on the banner, which is going to be the Akumaru. But the interesting thing about that weapon is it's going to, dependent on how much energy is in the entire party, you can get a maximum of 40% increased elemental burst damage. Honestly, the weapon is just kind of, you know, I wouldn't go too far into it. Honestly, the weapon is not going to be as good as the Flesh Claymore that you just got from this event, and I hope you did get that fish, because baseline R5 is going to be way better than pulling on this banner for that, just straight up. It will be better with a better party, obviously, of course. If you have characters with 80 energy costs, and at R5, you will see bigger damage increase, but I think whales at that point would rather just use a 5-star weapon, which again, they would just use a 5-star weapon. This weapon makes no sense. And here we are looking at the Memory of Dust, the second 5-star thing on there. It's trash. I don't know what else to say. It's a catalyst that gives shields a bonus 20%. The only character that it kind of works on is Ningguang, but it's so weak and irrelevant just because it is elemental reactions, and it usually pops in one hit. It's just not worth it right now. The only possible combination I can think of is like using it with like Mona or Barbara, or I guess even Kokomi, and just fighting with Toma on your team and incinerating, so you get the shield and you're able to get the full benefit of having a shield on. It's, you know, after 5 attacks, you get 4% extra attack bonus, and it's doubled if you have a shield, so you can get 40% extra attack. So, I mean, it's something, but straight up, do not roll on the banner for that. There's going to be a catalyst eventually that will have some crit rate or crit damage on it, and it will be meant for DPS, and I just hope, because we desperately need a good catalyst. As for the other standard 4-star weapons on here, Eye Perception, Garbage, Favonius Lance, it could kind of be good, I guess, on a few energy recharge characters. The Favonius Sword, again, it's like meh, I guess. And the Rust is a great Childe weapon, so at least if you have Childe or Yoimiya, that is a really good free-to-play option to use. So that's something that's good, you know? The only problem with the Favonius Lance and Sword is the character has to be on the field when they crit in order to get the extra particles. So that's a bit of an issue, especially since they're more or less support-based weapons. Honestly and truly, Mihoyo, what are you even smoking? This is trash. So I really thought that Kokomi's banner was going to be the worst banner pulls of all time, but it's looking like this Childe one is going to be the worst. Not a Bennett in sight, not even official in sight. There is no redemption on this banner. It is the easiest skip. Save your primos. I think they wanted to, like, you know, give Kokomi some love and say, okay, we're just gonna let Childe take the bullet of the worst banner of all time. So maybe that's their plan on this one. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got some good info about this. I hope you're laughing at Mihoyo right now, because, wow, this is terrible. And I hope to see you beautiful sons of guns again next time.